Hi, today we're looking at Genesis, how it all actually started, from absolutely nothing to mind-blowing beauty. It talks about how God took his time and gave in his best to produce something amazing, which we all testify to because we see how beautiful and everything that we have here on earth. I love how he sees it good after he speaks it into existence, because every time he kept on saying, "Let there be," and then at the end he'll be like, God saw it was good. So everything we have here is something that God saw was good. And if God saw it as good, I mean, it definitely is good, just like we see it. Now, some lessons from this chapter. Well, creation is one of the most sophisticated things that we have here on Earth. Scientists have been trying to come up with so many theories of how the world was created, how it was a tiny black thing and it burst into a beautiful big world with animals and plants and water in it, how we were monkeys at some point and now we're not monkeys anymore. And I'm wondering what happened to the monkeys that became human, because we don't see them anymore. But it is because, as sophisticated as it is, God spoke it into existence. That is how powerful and beautiful our God is. Because if he spoke it out, it's something that you would never, when you see how beautiful this world is, you can never think that someone just spoke it into existence just the way it is. But I would say that as many theories as they come, I will not allow to be reduced to a monkey, because I am a masterpiece and I am created by God. Looking at our second lesson is going to be coming from verse 12. And verse 12 says that the earth produced plants with grains for seeds and trees that made fruit with seeds in them. Each seed grew its own kind of plant. God saw that it was all good. So it is amazing how God created this world with sustainability in it. Because in verse 12, it tells us that when he called out the plants to come up, he made them in a way that they would have seeds in them. Even the fruits would have seeds in them so that they would keep reproducing themselves and there would be food on earth. The same thing happens in verse 24. And it says that then God said, "Let the earth be filled with animals, each producing more of its own kind. Let there be tame animals and small crawling animals and wild animals, and let each produce more of its kind." And it happened. The same thing happens with the animals. He made them in a way that there is reproduction. And the same thing happens with us as humans. He says, now you see there's three different things. There's plants, there's animals, and there's humans. So believe me when I say you did not come from a monkey, but you are a masterpiece that God intended to make out of his own image. Verse 26 says, "Then God said, let us make human beings in our image and likeness, and let them rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, over the tame animals, over all the earth, and all the small crawling animals on earth." So God created human beings in his image. In the image of God, he created them. He created male and female. God blessed them and said, "Have many children, grow in number, fill the earth, and be its master. Rule over the fish in the sea and over the birds in the sky, over every living thing that moves on earth." So we too were given the ability to reproduce. So it's something that God did in a way that by the end of the 6 days of creation, it could sustain itself. There were cycles that will sustain the earth, because there was light and there was darkness, there was day and night, there was rain and there was a dry season. There was plants reproducing, animals reproducing, and humans reproducing and multiplying and filling the earth, but also having dominion over the earth. And finally, the last thing I want us to look at in chapter 1 of Genesis is going to come from verse 26. It says, "Then God said, let us make human beings in our own image and likeness, and let them rule over the fish in the sea, the birds in the sky, and over all the animals." Humanity is after God's own image. You, my friend, me and you are created in God's image, in his own likeness. And see, the beautiful things like the breath he used when he was speaking everything into existence, you and I, we have that. And that is why it is very important for us to tame our tongue. That is why it's very important for us to be careful about the type of words that come out of us. Because what we speak into existence will actually come into existence. So you should be very, very careful. Just like God said, let there be this. Whatever you speak out, if you speak out negativity, that is what you will see manifesting in your life. But if you speak out beautiful things, positive things, wonderful things in your life, that is what is going to be created in your life. You have the breath of God, the same he used in creation. You have dominion over everything on earth. You are God's masterpiece. When he was done creating you, he saw that it was all good. Thank you very much for joining us today. Our declaration today is that I am created in the image of God. God bless you. Amen.